Well, good morning. Welcome again to another live. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And it's dreary here in Northern Ontario, but hey, you're on with me, so that makes me happy. Judy, Fernando, Andrea, hold on, let me just see who that was here. Sonia. And Julie and Star, good morning. Michael and Marin, nice to have you. Nativity, Jeanette, Phyllis, good morning to you. Lots of good questions. Keith, good morning. And Elaine and Rita, Judy, Rosa from Montreal, La Belle Province. Jerry from Nouveau-Brunswick, and John, our friend in Elgin, Illinois, and John is saying it's dreary there too. Yolande, bonjour. Natalie, Dorothy, big crowd, good. Andrea, Deb from Timmins, good friend. Good to have you on, Deb. Jacques, and Elsie, and Brigitte, and Jocelyn, our friend from Sturgeon Falls. Shawnette. Here's a name that I probably will mispronounce. Svetlana. Sorry, Svetlana, if I butchered your name. I didn't mean to. Okay, but thank you for watching. I mean that. Keith, good morning to you. Jeanette, you guys are great. Okay, let's get to the questions because we got lots and they were good, okay? Some of them, don't take it personally if I dismiss them. Okay, like Tracy asked me, what do I think of biofeedback? Well, I got no experience with it, Tracy. I'm not for it or against it. Unless I have experience with it, it's certainly not my necessarily area of expertise, but I don't want to comment too much because clinically I never used it. Okay, so good question, but I'm not going to give you too much of an opinion. I really like to keep my opinions based on the stuff that I experience, okay? Lots of experience, but not everything, right? Good question here asked by, who asked this question now? Here, I have it right here. Sony. Sony is asking about alpha lipoic acid, ALA. And I have had experience with that product. As a matter of fact, if you look at our insulin balance, we got ALA in there. So I like it. I generally don't like it on its own. And your body makes ALA, by the way. But you can get it in a supplement. And like I said, I like it. I like it combined with other things. I remember a colleague of mine, Dr. Richard Passwater, talking about ALA. And he actually wrote a book about it. And he liked it. He liked it primarily for its antioxidant, protecting your cells. And secondly, for blood sugar balance. So, like I said, I have it in our insulin format. Do I like it? And then she's also asking, Sony's asking about, does sodium bicarbonate hurt or help your kidneys? Okay, so baking soda. I know there are people that tell you to take some baking soda. Personally, I'm not big on it. And the reason is your body makes it. It's one of the things that your kidneys help with to help regulate your pH. We did a whole teaching on kidneys this week. And one of the factors is sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda, your body makes it. That's why when you say, oh, Dr. Martin, meat is acidic. No, it's not. Because your body will take even a tomato. We all agree tomatoes are acidic. But that doesn't affect your pH. You know why? Because your body releases sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Yeah, your pH in your blood has to be in a very, very narrow range. And when your kidneys can't do that, you know what we call that? Ketoacidosis. What's the difference between and a lot of doctors get this confused, the difference between ketosis and ketoacidosis. Ketosis, you can put yourself into ketosis, just stop eating carbs for about 3 days. You'll go into ketosis. What's been big? The keto diet. Keto, that's going into ketosis. It's changing fuels. Ketoacidosis is deadly. Why? Because now your body can't keep its pH in that range. It's not secreting enough baking soda. Your kidneys are shutting down. So is the rest of your body. This is what can happen to, it's one of the last stages of death is ketoacidosis. Diabetics are very susceptible to ketoacidosis. Why? Because they can't stabilize their blood sugars. And their pHs, they go very acidic. But that's not from food, guys. Well, look, you eat junk, that's acidic. And your body can't keep up with the baking soda. So Sony, very good question. Very good. But I'm not big on, I get it. People with cancer, for example. And some people say, well, take some baking soda. I would tell you what's even better, eat properly and don't feed the cancer. Your body will take care of baking soda. It will make it. One of the things that happens on the reset is your kidneys are restored, and that pH balance is it's easier for your kidneys because your kidneys are not stressed any longer because you've lowered your insulin. Sony, thanks for the question. Okay, and I don't know if this was, I didn't write the name down. Oh, Don. If we, in fact, store fat to burn, why do we get hungry? It's called the hormones. You get hungry because of hormones. Now, did you get our email this week? We emailed about two opposite hormones. One is called leptin, and the other one is called ghrelin. 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 Okay? Ghrelin. Yeah, I think it's spelled, it's pronounced ghrelin. Leptin and ghrelin. They're the opposites. Your body has that your body has that. They have the opposites. One does one thing, the other one counterbalances it. What is leptin? Well, leptin does 4 things in your body. 1, it tells you that you're full. 2, it speeds up your metabolism. It talks to your, hey, thyroid, get going. Speed up the metabolism. Burn fuel. Okay? And it gives you, it tells your body to start burning energy. Okay? Burn it off. Okay? And the opposite of that is ghrelin. What does that do? It just does the opposite. Tells your body to slow down. Tells your thyroid to slow down. Tells your body to eat. You need a balance, but what happens, okay? And this is, look, it's detailed, but let me just give you just a very short version of this. When you are metabolically out of whack, 88%, according to the CDC, are metabolically unwell. What does that mean? Primarily, it's your insulin. You have insulin resistance. You have leptin resistance. Your cells don't listen anymore. They're like teenagers. Now put your hand up if you were a teenager that didn't always listen to your parents. It comes with the territory. But when you're metabolically out of whack, your cells don't listen. They don't listen to insulin. They don't, you know what? Isn't it true when you're a teenager, you think your parents are crazy? You don't know nothing. I remember walking out of rooms a lot of times when I was a kid. My parents. You know, I didn't say it too loud because I had a healthy fear of my mother. I'd walk out of the room and they don't know what they're talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, that's your body when you're metabolically out of whack. It doesn't listen to your hormones. That's why the reset is so good, because it fixes that. Okay? It fixes that. So, Dawn, why do we get hungry? Because you have insulin resistance and you have leptin resistance. That's what happens. The brain, the signals in the brain get messed up because the hormones are upside down. That's what happens. Okay? So, now, let me just see, because there are a couple of more questions. Darlene says, once I eat, I am hungry. If I don't eat, I'm not hungry. Well, again, Darlene, I can give you, without knowing you, I can give you the diagnosis 100%. You're messed up. Don't take it personally. I used to do that with patients in the office sometimes. I said, well, you're weird. They usually knew me enough, like, you know, after a few minutes, they figured me out. And they weren't too offended. I never meant to offend anyone. I just like to pull their chain a little bit. Darlene, you're messed up. And join the cast of millions that are messed up. Their leptin isn't working properly. You can fix it, though. You can fix it, Darlene. You know, I think it was, let me just see here, Michelle. Okay, yeah, Michelle, okay, just on this again. Why do some people get high triglycerides on the reset? They're weird. It's not supposed to happen. But listen, some people are messed up. It takes longer. Seriously. Some people don't lose weight on the reset. Well, first of all, the reset wasn't a weight loss program, but I promise you, it's the best numero uno, number one eating plan on the planet. You name the diet, I can give you the Coles Notes version of every one of them. I've written many books on dieting. Lots of them. And this is the best one. Why? Because it's made to, it's the most nutrient dense thing. It's the healthiest thing you can do for your body. Simple as that. I don't apologize for it. Now, look, there's everybody, you got to see your fingerprint? It's different than mine. There's 7.3 billion people on the planet, and you don't have anybody else's fingerprint, just yours. You got an identical twin? They're not identical. They're not. Everyone is unique. You can embrace your uniqueness to some extent. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. I was reading online this morning, a lady there, and she is like, I'll tell you, just very hard on herself. You know, feeling like a failure all the time because they got cravings and they ate a couple of things and they feel guilty. And listen, let me share this, okay? I'm really big on this. Was it Wednesday, I think? A couple of podcasts ago. Go back and review. I talked about human psychology. And forming habits. I should have talked about this because I think it's very important. Set goals. I'm big on that. I'm a goal setter. I'm big on that. I'm big on rewards. I'm big on rewards. I married an Italian girl. My wife happens to be the best cook in the world. Even my girls, I've got 3 daughters, 3 older daughters. And they say, Mom, you really haven't given us the complete secret of your spaghetti sauce. They accuse their mother of that. I think they're right. But you see what I live with? You are looking, okay, see this face? You are looking at someone that every day I have to discipline myself. I have to. I am so sympathetic to people that have cravings. I am so sympathetic to people that struggle all of their lives with weight loss. Big time sympathetic. I always tell people I'm on your side. I'll never tell you to do something that I haven't done. That's why I'm so passionate. I'm passionate. Look, once you come out of the reset, I love rewards. Meaning, like, if you said to me, first of all, one, Doc, you can never have another coffee, I won't do it. I won't do it. Because I've proven to you that coffee's good for you, right? But I'm not a guy that's going to say, I'll never have another bowl of pasta. I won't do it. That's my reward. I actually write about this in my new book. Reward yourself. Once you get your things stabilized, reward yourself. I believe in that big time. It's your birthday. Have a piece of chocolate cake. Or whatever your favorite dessert is. Now, the nice thing is, there's all sorts of low carb, no sugars, blah, 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 foods. And listen, and again, you can ask my family this. You can ask Rosie this. I just don't have any sugar added. I mean it, almost none in a year. Well, first of all, I form new habits. I don't even miss it. I don't need it. I actually don't even like the sweetness of it. No, if I started eating it every day, I get that back in a hurry. I tell you what happened to me in grade 13. Now, you don't know what grade 13 is. Young people don't even know what that is. But I went to grade 13. And in grade 13, I said to myself, I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to get in shape. I lost 40 pounds. I formed new habits. I told you all about my dad, and maybe I'll do that again. My dad found out he was a diabetic. See this face? I look just like him as I get older. My father. I was built like him. He found out he was a diabetic. My dad changed his life. Discipline, you would not believe. I just read that Coca-Cola, you know what they stopped producing? A diet drink that's 60 years old. You know what it's called? Tab. They're not making it anymore. I don't know how they sold any of it. My dad was the first guy in the universe, as far as I know, to drink Tab. I said, Dad, how can you drink that? It tastes like urine. It was terrible stuff. But my dad said, well, I can't have sugar anymore. That was in 1967, guys. I can't have sugar anymore. Okay. Guys, but okay, getting back to grade 13. Honest to God, I've never had another chocolate bar since grade 13. 51 years ago. I stopped putting sugar in my coffee. 51 years ago. Do I miss it? No. Do I miss chocolate bars? No. I don't. I like other things. I'll tell you what I miss is muffins. I love muffins. I could live on muffins and peanut butter. No, but seriously, but you know what? Unless my wife makes me a low-carb muffin, I don't eat them. Every time I go into Tim Hortons, I like to have one. I like them. But, nah, I don't have them. That's me. You can do it, but you reward yourself. You see, I reward myself. I have a bowl of pasta once in a while. But you know what? I'll just tell you another thing. And I know I'm spending way too much time on this. But when Rosie I have 27 meatballs. I love her sauce and the meat sauce. And it's to die for. And I'll have a little, when I'm rewarding myself, a little wee bit of noodles. I don't live on noodles. I know they're going to be sugar in 5 seconds. You see, it's habits plus rewards. I love rewarding myself for being a good boy. Makes life more enjoyable. Anyways, I get it because I just see so many questions coming in that people are frustrated. Don't give up on yourself. For some people that are watching this morning, listening on a podcast, don't give up on your body. Rome wasn't built in a day. We're used to instant everything in our lives. Everything is instant. Look, some of the greatest changes you'll make in your life are not going to be easy. Your hormones are messed up. You got to fix. And anyway, okay. Oh. I get excited. Look, I want to go fast now, okay? So I think I hit Danuta. What about trans fats in animal fats? Well, look, I guess, sometimes processed meats or whatever could have, but trans fats are not found in animal fat in nature. Trans fats are hydrogenated. They are, and I guess like if you get a pre-cooked, sometimes they cook these things like pre-cooked bacon or sausage, you could have trans fats in there. Yeah, well, we don't live in a perfect world, first of all. I tell people, don't be too hard on, like, you can spend your life looking for perfection on this planet. And that's why I don't get into great detail when it comes to eggs, meat, and cheese. Like, Doc, like, I think, Yolande, you're the one that asked me last week or whatever. Well, I looked at ham. There's 1 carb in there or whatever. Should I eat it? Yeah. They probably cured it in some kind of, I don't know. But we don't live in a perfect world, guys. You stick to eggs, meat, and cheese, and, like, is organic better? Yes. But I got to deal with everybody, whatever their budget is. So, yeah, well, let me just say this. Wait a minute. Somebody asked about water. Okay, Sophie, what about insulated water bottles? Well, better, from what I'm reading. They're not going to give you the plastics leaching. Guys, I just got to tell you again, it's better that you drink water, even from a water bottle, than not to drink water. And I mean that. Yes, it's better to, if you can get, with no look at, first of all, you can't get away from plastic. Check your address at home. Are you living on planet Earth? There's plastic everywhere. It's in the oceans. It's in the air. It's in the water. It's everywhere. And unless you are planning to live on Mars, you're going to be getting some plastics in your life. I'm sorry. You can't get away from it. Now, that doesn't mean you should, bombard yourself with it either. I'm just saying that you have to understand that I have to talk to people in generalities. And like Tony said, what was he saying? Oh yeah, don't worry about the handrails on the Titanic. You know what? I like that what he said there. You're on the Titanic, change course. And then you can fix the handrails. You understand what he was saying there? My son's a genius, by the way. So unlike his father. Okay. Janet, here's another one. Janet says, well, what about heavy metals in Himalayan salt. Well, you know what, Jan? Generally, I haven't found that, by the way, and I've tested some. I used to do a lot of heavy metal testing. But I guess, again, you usually get what you pay for or whatever, but we don't live in a perfect world. It's still better to have Himalayan salt than table salt. 100%. It's better to eat salt than sugar. 100%. All good questions. I want you thinking. I love it. Lori, what do I think of bioenergetics? I don't know, Lori. I've never done it. So again, that's just another thing I won't comment on because I don't know. If I haven't used it in my practice, I don't like talking about it. Let me go a few conditions here. Lori's asking, or Ruth is asking about low blood pressure. Well, Ruth, I always want to find out why you have low blood pressure. And do you have any symptoms of low blood pressure? Like you stand up and you get dizzy or lightheaded. Could be anemia, could be your thyroid, could be low levels of B12, could be low levels of vitamin D. I'm a big guy on the why. Why is it happening? Are you having symptoms? Because, and again, let me just say it's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve. I hate when people are always checking their blood pressure. These home devices. I'm not saying throw it out. It's even like your blood sugar. I get people, they're so used to the blood sugar testing. I say, well, how do you feel? Oh, I feel pretty good. Well, then don't worry about it. Now, if you're passing out, you're feeling unwell, okay. But don't overdo it. Like I had patients come in. At 8 o'clock, my blood pressure was this. At noon, my blood, and then they got 60 days of it. I said, you're driving yourself crazy. Don't do that to yourself, okay? But again, I'm a why guy, okay? And Lise is asking about black dots in front of her eyes. Can last up to 30 minutes. Usually, Lise, okay? When I see that, patients are low, they're anemic. It's a sign of anemia. Now, it can be some other things, meaning you could have trouble starting with your eyes, diabetic retinopathy, circulation in behind your eyes, and macular degeneration. It can start with spots. And, investigate. Get to the bottom of it. And, but a lot of times it's, ladies, you're the worst for this. It can happen for men, but it usually in women. It's what I call borderline anemia. Meaning your blood tests aren't showing you to be anemic. You might have like large red blood cells. Large. But doctor doesn't talk to you about it. It just happens to show up in your blood work. And I used to tell people, well, you're anemic. You get a buzzing sound a lot of times, just like a buzzing sound, and you see dots when you get up fast in front of your eyes, and you're a little bit off in your equilibrium, your balance. A lot of times that's anemia. A lot of times it's low levels of B12. A lot of times it's low levels of vitamin D. And I created Blood Boost for those conditions because I give everything in it. But anyway, okay? Good questions. Joy is asking, does stevia or monk fruit feed cancer? Look, I talked about this the other day. Stevia, monk fruit, your sugar alcohols like xylitol and erythritol, and when you see an OL at the end, I just tell people, look, be careful with that stuff. Stevia, I don't like the taste of stevia. That's just me. Does it feed cancer cells? Probably not. But you got to be careful. I just don't like overdoing it with stuff like that. And monk fruit. And I'd rather people get their body used to not even having that. But it's not the end of the world if you do. Okay? Does it feed cancer cells? I don't know for sure. I tell my cancer patients, no sugar. How about sweeteners? Why take a chance? I'm very, very strict with people who have cancer. Very strict. They're lucky if they can get a few berries out of me. I mean that. I am very strict. So, anyway. Wendy, I drink a ton of water and my blood tests show that she is dehydrated. Well, Wendy, I mean, again, I would have to look at this individually, but you probably have kidney stress. You probably are metabolically not well yet. And again, that's an individual thing. But usually when the kidneys are not right, that's when you constantly, even when you're drinking water, and make sure you're adding electrolytes. Like that's why I'm big on Himalayan salt, because it's electrolytes. And another question, I think I've answered, this is the last one. Why do I sleep the deepest the last few hours? Well, remember, your body's, I did a little bit of teaching on that, probably last week, I don't remember now. Your body goes into 4 cycles of sleep. Well, when you're sleeping. A lot of people just never get into it, and they don't get into the deep sleep like you're talking about. Why is it, but you think you're getting only that in the latest hours. That's not necessarily true. A lot of people go through it. They just don't stay in that deep sleep. They come back out and recycle. They recirculate their sleep. Okay? The first one is very light, and then you go into a deep sleep, and then you get into a REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. Those are cycles. And when you're sleeping real well, you'll go through 4 cycles of sleep. And it's a good question, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's just the way you're probably doing really well if you're getting into that deep, deep sleep. That's what you want. Okay, so thank you very much for the questions. I hope I didn't miss any. Oh, Diane's asking about colloidal silver. Okay. Can I sing a song to you? I'm going to close with this. Anything you can do, I can do better. You remember that song? You probably have to be my age again. Look, people ask me about colloidal silver. Yeah, I used a little bit in my office, but you know what I found? Oil of oregano is better. Anything you can do, I can do better. That's an oil of oregano. It's better than everything. And the problem with colloidal silver, I mentioned this before, you got to be careful with it. Now, silver is well documented as an antibacterial. That's where silver spoons and forks came from. Antibacterial. Thousands of years ago, they found out that that was true. So silver is good. I got no issue with it. But the problem is you can get too much of that. And I've seen the side effects of that. Anything you can do, I can do better, is the song for oil of oregano, in my opinion. Now, you makers of oil of oregano, send me your check. Okay, guys, you've been great. Thanks for putting up with me. And I appreciate that. Okay? So, God bless you. We love you. Share this. Share this. And if you're not a member of the Martin Clinic private Facebook group, then become a member. It's a great group to be in. Because I like I said, one of the ladies, I don't know, I touched on it. Yes, I did. When I talked about, they get frustrated. Well, get into the group. You're going to get lots of encouragement from people, fellow resetters. We got to reset. And they'll tell you, they'll pump your tires up. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon.